There are an endless amount of videos that share Ellen DeGeneres in compromising situations. Every time I check out a new video, there's more footage, more things that she's done that incriminate her and make her look even worse than she did before. So today, we're diving into some of those new moments. As we do, I don't have my normal coffee. We're going with some Bowling Basket Seltzer Black Cherry. Let me know what you guys are drinking. Thanks so much for supporting the channel and being a subscriber. Now let's dive in.
Ellen DeGeneres is named in the Epstein documents, and that part is real. Her name appears in the broader index of over 300 high-profile individuals.
Ellen DeGeneres.
Ellen DeGeneres?
Ellen DeGeneres. She was actually really mean.
Who's this guy?
Actually, did you guys know this? Actually, Ellen was really freaking mean, so they had to fire her or something. And just like, why the hell is she so mean to all her workers?
Were you upset when Ellen was canceled?
No, it's actually, I was
Canceled?
completely fine with that because why was she mean to all her workers?
I'm mean, yeah. Yeah, you can't be mean and be in show business. No, they'll kick you out.
One name has been making its way into the conversation surrounding the latest Epstein file claims. Ellen DeGeneres. Yes, that Ellen DeGeneres. And let's just say if the allegations making the rounds are true, Ellen may have taken the generous in DeGeneres a little too seriously.
Yeah, good joke. I have to say, we know this, but the new footage and the new things that I haven't seen yet are the things that I wanted to share with you.
I called her out. I was like, Ellen's not that nice.
This was after you went on the show?
After I went on the show.
What was it like meeting Ellen? And is she a good person?
Let's just all go back to 2017 where I was the first person to call Ellen out before anyone else
You called her out?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I called her out. I was like, Ellen's not that nice.
This was after you went on the show?
After I went on the show.
The Department of Justice has released videotapes linking Ellen DeGeneres to Epstein, and now the internet isn't just questioning whether her name appears somewhere in the Epstein story. People are asking whether her alleged connection goes much deeper than anyone previously realized. And once you start looking at where these claims are coming from, things get messy very quickly.
Steve Harvey right here. Now, remember, Steve Harvey had the whole anti-aging lotion on his hands and he didn't know where that actually came from, which is the same type of a lotion that Ellen had a conversation with on her show about these things that elites do to prevent themselves from aging.
Hollywood is a messy place, but the horrific things Ellen was getting up to, boy oh boy, let's get into it.
She was said to be a nasty bitch, and that's Ellen DeGeneres.
There have been several claims of people calling her a cannibal and claiming that vampires are real because she allegedly eats people. Another claim even states that because of her cannibalism, that is why she left the United States, and Hollywood is not going to do anything about it.
Now, let me give you a little bit of clarification there. Months ago, I put out a video regarding these claims. They were voice-generated claims because whoever was actually saying them didn't want to be known. It is definitely still on the table. We've heard her ex-girlfriend Anne Hesh say things about it as well. And she used to do some private cooking, which no one ever really knew what the meats being used actually were. But it's also part of the alleged anti-aging strategy for many of these elites, we'll call them. Although I know many of you hate it when I do call them elites.
For a long time, Ellen DeGeneres has found herself in the center of conspiracy theories and wild drama. Coincidence? Think again. There have been various reports about how toxic her workplace is and how she acts like she's above everyone else at work, to the extent where no one is allowed to look her in the eye.
A relationship, and I think many of us have them, you come to a fork in the road. What do you want and what do I want?
Several people even came forward to talk about the show that the allegations made headlines for weeks, and that was what marked the beginning of the fall of the talk show empire. And with the DOJ revelation, everyone is finally realizing just how bad a person Ellen is. One of the most shocking discoveries from the file was a picture of Ellen on what looked like a yacht with a little girl that could not be less than 8 years old. On the surface, it looks like a harmless picture, right? But in light of all the new information, fans cannot help but realize that Ellen's body language in the picture is anything but good. The facial expression, the arm placement, everything just screams uncomfortable. Here's what one commentator had to say about the weird picture. We are at the point with these files where the mind wants to break. Look at the way Ellen is holding this little girl in her eyes. It doesn't look right, does it?
It's crazy because things that we would have normally looked at as just regular pictures, regular things, regular messages, we now are looking at under these microscopes because With the release of the Epstein files, the light is now shining on what's been going on inside of Hollywood and with the, these rich people for so long. So now we're going back and looking at all these things and saying, oh my God, how did we not notice these things prior?
Pray this little girl is a grown woman now. The fact that W have to ask is not fathomable. You better hide Ellen DeGeneres. But it gets even worse. Fans began to look back at her friendship with people like Diddy, her connection with her ex-girlfriend Anna Heche's accident and eventual death, and also her reaction when she heard about the death.
Tell me about your birthday party. Am I invited?
Yes. Yes, you're definitely invited. I invite you to all my parties. You just haven't seemed to show up.
When you begin to put all these incidents side by side, you realize that Ellen might just be another Epstein, or even worse. On August 5th, 2022, Anne Heche was in a fiery, high-speed chase that resulted in her crashing her car in a home in Los Angeles.
I actually don't think that Ellen is another Epstein. I think they're very different. I think that Ellen was being used as a guard. I think Hollywood and these people that we speak of that do these terrible things were utilizing Ellen as the clean, happy, be kind front woman for everything that's going on, hiding all the things that are going on. Bring on multiple guests who are terrible people. I mean, Diddy did a bunch of terrible things. You had John of God that came on. You had Dr. Phil, who was a complete fraud. Multiple people that have come through her show that she had relationships with, knew were bad people, yet would still promote them in positive ways.
Which then led to a fire that engulfed both her car and the house.
We also have a structure fire, 2-story, single-family dwelling, heavy smoke showing.
Now, this doesn't sound suspicious, right? But before she was in a car crash, she was seen entering a shop to buy a wig.
After she bought a red wig from his salon,
she looked up top and said, "Hey, can I buy that red wig?"
Putting all the information together, a high-speed chase and buying a wig, it all points to someone trying to disappear, run away, or someone that just doesn't want to be found. And allegedly, she was running away because of Ellen.
Oh my gosh! According to her spokesperson, she's in critical condition and on a ventilator. Her burns will require surgical intervention.
And it gets even weird because when Ellen was asked about the accident, she gave the most casual reply, saying, "I don't want this to happen to anyone," which is such a weird thing to say about someone you dated for 3 years.
Do you want to send her any well wishes?
Sure. I don't want anyone to be hurt.
She said, "Sure, I don't want anyone to be hurting." Now, that does not show that she has any special relationship or special feelings towards Anne and what she was dealing with after that accident. I mean, it sounds like a very generic answer because she had to say something.
Fans were not convinced that Ellen had something to do with her death before. Her response after she was asked just proved to everyone that she knew way more than the internet does.
Have you spoken to Anne Heche at all since her accident?
Have not.
Do you want to...
We're not in touch with each other, so I wouldn't know.
Also, an interview Anna Heche had with Entertainment Tonight recently resurfaced, where she said the relationship between her and Ellen ended because their intentions were becoming very different.
You know, in a relationship, and I think many of us have them, you come to a fork in the road. What do you want and what do I want? And those goals, that intent in life is determined by the individual. And her intent and my intent were different, and that's why we separated.
She didn't expand on that, but with the Epstein file in public now, and with Ellen's name popping up, Anne Heche might have allegedly been talking about Ellen's connection to Epstein. It was even so clear that they really had different intentions, because Anne Heche started campaigning against while Ellen started rubbing shoulders with the people Anne campaigned against.
Now, if Anne became enlightened to all of these things that Ellen DeGeneres is allegedly connected to, and they're true, and Anne Heche would have realized that, and it was something she was not down to do, then I could see that's a clear distinction between this is what you want and this is what I want, so it's time that we separate. I mean, isn't that why all relationships break up? Because you just don't align for one reason or the other? This would be a massive misalignment as well.
Anne Heche was uncovering this incredible pedophile ring.
By understanding how human
wrongdoing really works. You can make a difference in the life of someone at risk.
And this is where it gets disturbing. According to people online, Ellen allegedly pulled strings to get Anne Heche's body. She stored it in her freezer, and over the years, she has consumed part of her body.
Yes, that is something that has been stated, but I don't, that seems incredibly insane to think. Like, could that really have happened? How would she have gotten the body, and would she really be consuming that? Oh, disgusting to think of. Allegedly, you just never know.
Now investigators have confirmed that after Anne's death, Ellen pulled strings to claim her body, storing it in a mansion freezer like some kind of relic. Over the years, Ellen allegedly consumed parts of Anne in deliberate occult ceremony.
Here's what commentators said about the whole Anne Heche death. A year ago, I would have thought this was ridiculous, but after reading the files, I am adamant that something happened.
And this is exactly what happens right here, right? Things come to light, factual things come to light from the files, and then we start looking back at things that we would have looked at as nothing, and then look at them saying, oh my God, it's actually happening.
Read the files. It reveals so much. This other commentator said she was about to expose Ellen and her Epstein activities. Rest in power, and we haven't forgotten. Before the DOJ even leaked Ellen's tape, celebrities like Cat Williams have tried to tell us that people like Epstein and Diddy use certain influential figures for their nefarious dealings, and soon their crimes will come to light. And with all that is going on, we can say he was definitely right.
All of these big dick deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is, TG Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all.
He didn't mention names, but everyone could tell he was talking about Ellen because of Ellen's relationship with both men. There is also the infamous monologue of her denying to be part of any conspiracy, and looking back to it now, we all realize that the signs were all there. But because she had sold the image of being a kind lady, everyone thought she was telling jokes. Now we cannot help but wonder that it's no mistake that Ellen was mentioned in files leaked by the DOJ. Because looking at all her so-called harmless toilet pranks over the years and her friendship with suspicious people, not to mention her escape from the country, everyone can see that her girl next door image was just a facade.
Did you pay already?
These aren't funny.
Like this one fan who said, Ellen, be kind to another and eat them when there is no camera around.
I mean, essentially, we've been lied to for so long. The whole be kind thing, we ignored what we actually saw happening on the shows. Some of the jokes that were just straight out mean to people, and there were hundreds of them. We ignored that, and we were brainwashed to believe that Ellen was actually this really good person, this really good, be kind person. She's not the only person that we've been brainwashed to believe is a good person. Also, there's, Oprah Winfrey.
All these begs the question, did Ellen have something to do with Anne's death? And are there actually videos of Ellen on Epstein's island?
It's clear that she wasn't a great person, but everything that we are saying or hearing or seeing that she has done is alleged. She's still a free woman. She's back in the United States at this point in time after escaping out of the country. What's going to happen? The sad thing is, maybe nothing. If you want to dive deeper into Ellen or other of these elites, check out this video, and I'll see you guys over there.